Spanning over 700,000 acres of remote, undeveloped mountains and valleys, this protected place in southeastern Nevada has been described as one of the emptiest places in a state famous for its emptiness. This vast and rugged landscape is home to many ecologically significant plants and animals, has a lengthy human history, and contains City, a massive earth art piece by artist Michael Heizer. This is Basin and Range National Monument. Well, good morning, everybody. This morning we are in Basin and Range National Monument, which is in south central Nevada. And this is where I camped last night. This area is a little pull-off of a dirt road we were coming down. I'll make sure I put the coordinates to where this campsite is located. And as you can see, the view really opens up behind us. So this valley that we are camped on the edge of is called Grass Valley, and this is the upper part of it. And this is one out of two valleys that make up the core of Basin and Range National Monument. From this area that we camped at, these mountains that you can see off here in the distance are the Worthington Mountains. And here you can see the truck, and where we camped in these mountains right behind it are the Cherry Creek Range. And this area over here is the Grant Range to the north. And its highest peak is Troy Peak, but of course you can't see it right now because of the clouds. And the other nice thing about this is there have been no people at all. We got in here on Thursday night. The weather was really bad on Thursday. A big storm system came through. Friday was really windy and periods of rain. Yesterday was pretty windy, but today it's actually turned out pretty nice. It's nice and sunny. We had clear skies last night, and it is warming up nicely today, which is pretty good because, boy, it was sure chilly these last couple of days. But I really liked this view. We watched a lot of the clouds just move across this valley the last couple of days. I have some pretty nice time lapses. I haven't seen any people, no cars, haven't even heard any vehicles. I've just heard a couple of airplanes. There's maybe a dozen or so cows that I've seen wandering around down in the bottom of the valley, but that's pretty much been it. So this national monument is pretty underdeveloped. There are very few established trails, so it's pretty much just route finding and choose your own adventure. So yesterday, we hiked up to there. Once you get up to this pass, there's a road that goes up either side. So we went up there, checked that out. Created by a proclamation issued on July 10, 2015, the Basin and Range National Monument is an iconic American landscape. Spanning the transition between the Mojave Desert and the sagebrush steppe of the Great Basin, this area is one of the largest undisturbed and ecologically intact landscapes in the Great Basin, providing habitat connectivity and migration corridors for a wide variety of animal species, such as desert bighorn sheep, mule deer, Rocky Mountain elk, pronghorn antelope, and many other mammal species. At the lower elevations, a more arid ecosystem can be found where cactus species dominate. Valley bottoms and alluvial fans provide a home for sagebrush communities and mixed desert scrublands. At middle elevations, sagebrush gives way to single-leaf pinyon, Utah juniper, mountain mahogany, and quaking aspen. And at higher elevations, ponderosa and limber pines become more common, with bristlecone pines over 2,000 years old growing atop the Worthington Mountains. This is Coal Valley, and this makes up the other major valley within Basin and Range National Monument. This mountain ahead of us right here and these mountains right behind us make up the ridgeline that splits these two or differentiates these two valleys from each other. One of the reasons that they wanted to protect these areas is because these are two of the very last undeveloped valleys in the Great Basin. Most of the basin valleys have either a highway or power lines or a gas line, fiber optic. There's a lot of different things that run through it. So in these two valleys here, there weren't anything except for roads. There is one power line that runs from a place called Adaven. I hope I pronounced that right. It's Nevada spelled backwards, and it's a little community in the foothills of the Quinn Canyon Range on the other side of Grass Valley. And there is one ranch in the middle of Grass Valley that is still operating in the area. But other than that, there is no development in these areas. And you really be able to find a lot of solitude out here. This place is quiet, and I have not seen anybody since I got here on Thursday. More cows than people. And I haven't really seen that many cows either. This is another spot with some really nice camping here. We're not camping here tonight, we just stopped to water the dogs, but you have a commanding view of Coal Valley, and you can see Grass Valley beyond it. This big snow-capped peak over here is Troy Mountain in the Grant Range, and these other snow-capped peaks over here are the Quinn Canyon Range. And of course, in the distance, we can see the Worthington Mountains. This section of mountains over here are called the Golden Gate Range. But this is a real nice little spot. Absolutely fantastic view. This is Black Cliff Mountain behind me, and this is close to the boundary of the Basin and Range National Monument. So it has turned into a gorgeous afternoon. We're going to head down this direction here and meet with the highway, and we're going to go down into Alamo, and then we're going to come back into the south entrance of the monument later on this afternoon. Well, good morning. I wanted to show off this campsite here that we found last night. This is in Coal Valley in Basin and Range National Monument. And we came in on this road yesterday. This road runs along the eastern side of Coal Valley and allows us to access a lot of these foothills and rock formations here. But today is just a blue ribbon day. This has been the first day that we've been down here that there's actually no clouds in the sky. So, and it was fairly warm last night. Fairly warm. Didn't frost, let's put it that way. But yeah, this site has been a really nice area to camp. I'll make sure I put the coordinates up here so you can come and check it out. But you definitely should get out here and check out Basin and Range National Monument. This place has a lot to offer. We're going to pack things up, head down the road, and we'll be back in a little bit to show you guys some more stuff. So this is the view from out in the middle of Coal Valley. We decided to take this road. Takes us over here to the Golden Gate Range. It is incredibly quiet out here. All I hear are birds in the distance. Pretty much the only thing we've seen have been cows. I've seen 2 cars driving in the monument, and that's pretty much been it. Well, this is a pond that we found along this road, and I'm guessing this is probably the low point of the valley here where the water collects when there is enough. That's the thing, is this is a very dry area. So when you see areas flooded like this, that's kind of a unique occurrence. It's been a pretty wet and rainy winter for the west here, so I could see this happening on this year, no problem at all. We pulled over along the road here. We're going to hike up to the top of this hill here. I've been through this area before, and there's some pretty cool fossil beds up here we're going to go take a look at. Well, we found some. I don't know if you can see all these. These are pieces of segmented worms. Some pretty good ones, too. Wow, that almost looks like a whole piece. You can see these big ones right here, over here, over here. I suspect we're going to find similar ones here. Or maybe not. We're going to keep looking. Ah, these look like, with that little round segment I found earlier, looks like they're coming out of here. Picture perfect day out here. It looks like we're finally getting a few clouds, but it's a far cry from the way it has been the last few days. But it is just gorgeous out here today. Looking to the south here, this is looking into the Golden Gate Range. As we pan this way, these are the Worthington Mountains. And of course, those are the Quinn Canyon Range. The tallest peak in the distance is Troy Peak, and that is the Grant Range. And if I pan this way, you can see Black Cliff Mountain, and you can see where we parked down here along the road. This is a great little spot. You can just pull off and come walking up here, and this place is full of fossils. So I'd been noticing this outcrop of rocks from down in Coal Valley, and we found a dirt road that brought us around to this little arch over here. And we're going to go and wander around in here and explore this. This looks really cool. There's a sign right here on the National Conservation Lands. This talks about the natural arch, talks about the difference between a bridge and an arch, and it talks about the lichen and the great horned owl. There's a lot of different wildlife. We've seen a few pronghorn. Saw a really nice gopher snake earlier. So this is looking down into the White River Valley. The mountain range in the distance are the South Egan Range. And these are the dogs kicking back in the sunshine. What do you think, guys? Want to go for a walk? All right, there's the magic word. So we're up on the hill behind this formation, waiting for the sun to come. We got under an unfortunate cloud. But here's looking back at the formation. So it's a cool cave over here, and then there's another couple of them over there. Ah, the sunshine just came back. So this is looking south into the upper part of Coal Valley and the Golden Gate Range. This area just looks beautiful when the sun's out. Sure is a nice day to be out. A little breezy, but it's still very nice. We're gonna go walk around on the other side of these and check it out. So we're gonna head out here into these rocks and go take a look at that arch. Well, here's the arch. We're gonna go up a little closer to it. They don't have a name for it, at least not on the board down there. I just noticed on this rock here, you've got some old names and dates chiseled in here. Looks like these were put in 49. So they've been in there for quite a while. Probably some of the locals. This area here has quite a bit of dispersed camping. One could come out here and find a real nice campsite for a couple days and wander around in all of these rocks, and there's more rocks just to the west. But these are really cool. It's a real nice area out here. It looks like this arch is going to have some company soon. If you look over to the left and up a little higher, you can see some light coming through where there's another little window forming. Might take it a few years to become as big as this one, but soon it will be a double arch. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of Basin and Range National Monument. I would really encourage you to come and check this place out. It is really, really cool out here. I will make sure I put all of the coordinates to all the different places that I camped at and stopped at, and even places that I suggested would probably be good for camping in the description beneath the video. And if you have any questions about how to get here or what to take camping or any of that kind of stuff, feel free to let me know in the comments, or you can message me over on Instagram. And of course, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and you can join us next time for another adventure out on your public lands.